Hello everyone, this is Panacham here. Welcome to my channel. Today, this video, we're going to talk about the macro view of Bitcoin, of the entire cycle. And I believe that we have already ended the bull cycle right here. The up move was, it spent almost 790 days or more moving to the upside. But before that, we had a 300, almost 350 more days on a bear cycle. Okay. Like if you exclude this, you just count this, it's almost 300, almost, almost a year time for it to correct. Okay, and now that we have been declining and potentially we will decline more further, and this has been going on for almost somewhere around 100 days, but who's counting, right? Okay, let's get into the TA on Bitcoin. Let's go on to the daily time frame. MACD has already switched red, and there is I mean, I would say that this could be a bear divergence right here. Okay, but I would just say it's very overbought. Okay, but if you go to the weekly time frame, you have to understand, although we might have a little bit minor of the bull divergence right here, but there is a potential that this can continue variation back to the downside. It's just too weak. I'm looking at something around like this. Okay, so which means I'm looking for a down move like that, like it's at the bottom, to tell me that that is the bottom. I want to see it touch this low. I want to see it touch this low. Every time it touches this low, every time it touches low, it goes back up. So we are in the middle. We are still thinking, hey, we're probably in bull market. Everybody's still thinking they're not bearish enough because we are still in the borderline. We're in between the RSI on the weekly, the 40 plus and above. So a lot of people are not showing like, oh, it's bearish. Okay, it's not yet, but until they see it, it's too late already. The market has already dropped. So what I'm saying is right now we do have a bear divergence on the weekly time frame. Okay, let me just show you a really quick one, like make it bigger so you can see. All right, so we have a bear divergence right here. What we want to catch in the upcoming future is a bull divergence like this, indicating this could be the low, and then we can go start going forward from there. Okay, it's because that I'm seeing this bear divergence and there is no actual indication, like, it doesn't have the indication of something like this at somewhere around here. So I believe the correction is not done, and the down move is like, like this down move here. After the down move, it comes back out, it's still gonna make a new drop or low. Okay, so I'm expecting for it to go lower right here. So my RSI explaining, hopefully that really helps try to keep you in balance. I'm neutral, but I'm more towards bearish actually. Okay, so I'm looking forward for Bitcoin to drop even lower to this region here. If you measure it, it kind of like, this is the 618 and 0.5 retracement on the whole up move here. Okay, that is the target we are looking for, and it somehow, look at the green trend line. If you go to the monthly, right, it kind of like gives you like a range, like there is a support right there. There is a correlation on this green trend line. Okay, so it's kind of like indication telling me like there is a chance that we just might bounce somewhere around here. Okay, and we might just go back to that place before we actually, thinking anything else. Okay, so Let's go to the smaller time frame and let's take a look. Let me explain to you what I'm looking at right now. So the down move since 20th January, in my opinion, was actually a 3-wave-ish kind of. Okay, so it was like a 3-3, like a 3-3, 3-3, 3, leading diagonal to the downside. Okay, and then we got a bounce from here. Okay, but then we made a 3-wave down looking like a WXY. Okay, and then we potentially have a 5-wave up. Okay, making the whole structure was an A, B, C, and expand the flat. Okay, now that is my count. There's many ways to see this. Like a lot of people are counting it differently, but I'm counting it differently. So it's my call, right? So it's my video. So I say it's an expander flat, then it's an expander flat. Okay, but then of course I have all the scenarios, right? All right, let me just get you to the bullish and bearish scenario that I'm looking at right now, that I'm expecting right now, that I'm looking at right now. Okay, number one, let's say this is a start of something new. Okay, I don't care what this is, it's too choppy, right? I don't know what that is. Let's just pretend from the bottom here, this is a 5-wave up move, right? A start of beginning. So there's two things we want to take a look. Okay, one is a 3-wave pullback. Okay, now the 3-wave pullback is either going to be a shallow one or it can be a deeper one. Okay, and that's where you move forward again. All right, that is number one and number two scenario. Number one is a shallow retracement making a bull flag. Okay, number two is a deeper retracement. Okay, getting us back to this region, which I already boxed it up. Okay, so that is the second scenario. All right, now the third scenario is when this is, like I mentioned, is the whole thing, it's an ABC to the downside. Okay, and then we go to the upside. So how long this correction will last, I don't know. We're not sure yet, because there is a potential that this might turn into something like a 3-wave up before coming down. Okay, why? Because it just can. All right, because the time taken for it to move up was a little bit too fast, then there is a potential that we might go for another 3-wave down and another impulse up to the upside. Okay, that is one of the idea. But because the time taken for this one, it kind of like matched this one and this one. The time taken for it, it's quite matching. So we might get a little bit of, like a equalizer to the downside again, just like that. If I were to count this as an expander flat instead of saying that it's a something new, okay? If it's a something new, then we are expecting for a pullback, then for another flat, then we go for another down. Okay, regardless, I think the whole structure can be very bullish and also can be bearish as well, because it's we're getting at the end of the cycle. We need that correction. We need that 2 years 1 year correction or 1.5 year correction, because we haven't got that yet. Because all the entire bull run that we had, we didn't have like a good retracement. It's all very shallow retracement, and for the first time we had a very deeper correction. So I think that it would further going down just like this. Okay, cycle need to correct. It needs to correct to continue to the upside. Okay, so now that I'm looking at like that, so I'm expecting for the immediate short term that we might have a shallow retracement and then we start going down. Now the other crazy thing that Bitcoin loves to do, definitely this could potentially end up being a complex correction, which is this can be becoming an expanded flat like that, and then still making a new down, which prolong the correction. Okay, which makes sense as well, but I just don't think it would do that. I would most likely think this could reject really fast, like a sharp rejection before going back up. I wouldn't want to think that the market is taking its time, no, because this was very corrective. So I believe the next move is a very impulsive down to the downside, really quick. It doesn't need to take long, and we will see. We will see how it goes. So that is the bearish idea. Bullish. Okay, let me repeat that. Bullish idea is pullback, and then we go forward to the upside, or a shallow pullback, and then continuation to the upside. The bearish is where this one declines and continuation to the downside to at least 50k. 64k to 50k. Okay, so that is the macro view of Bitcoin right now that I'm looking at, and I'm looking forward to buying the dip right here. So what happens to the alts, obviously is probably gonna be very, very dead, but if you look at the SPX, SPX is looking has already almost retraced fully, right? I mean, the market looks like going up three-wave-ish. Like if you go to the small time frame, you can actually see that this is a three-wave up and then a three-wave pullback, and then market looking like it's almost done correcting, and this one is probably moving down forward really, really soon. I'm expecting the entire market to be super, super bearish, which can bring us down to back to 3,500. Okay, let me just go to the log scale, and let's go to the bigger time frame. Yep. Okay, so like it kind of like retest this. If you go to the log scale, it's kind of like retested. So what this is, what does this move? So basically, I believe that this could be a 1, 2, and this is a 3, 4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, potentially that is done, and now we are gonna have a huge recession of some sort. But if you go to the regular time frame, it doesn't look like that. It's just, XPX is showing a different kind of view. Like the steep, it needs to correct. It needs a correction. I mean, if you go to the regular, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's done. It's like an ending diagonal at the end. So we might get a huge correction right here, like that. Okay, it might happen, and then after that we're gonna forward from there. All right, or it can just double bottom, something like that, and then before going back up, which is possible as well. So we're just gonna wait out and see what happens for SPX, and of course if I go to Tesla, Elon Musk, I would say that Elon Musk's chart has another new low coming, because this whole move is an expanded flat, and it's not done yet. I would say that, okay? All right, so yeah, so I don't want to cover too much about other stocks market, but there's a little bit correlation on that. So if I were to look at the other chart, let me see, do I need to share anything more? Nope, that's it. Yeah, I think that's about it. And today's video is all about Bitcoin potentially declining back to 50K. I hope everybody took some time, and thank you for watching the video if you reach until here. And hopefully I will update more and more about the macro view, more detailed technical analysis. Oh yeah, for the meantime, we need to for the short time period, there is a potential that this is very choppy move, so we're probably declining from here. It's not looking really good. I mean, unless it becomes something like this, which is plausible as well, but I just don't think for now. I still think it's very choppy. Okay, so for now, everything just look extremely bearish right now, unless it kind of like shows me a spike up to the upside and then a three-way pullback, then I believe that is the continuation to the upside. But for now, there's no indicating that it's gonna go there. I'm looking forward for Bitcoin to start rollover really soon. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe, like, comment down below if you have anything. But don't worry if this video is too long, but you already made it right here. I would make another short video just to explain it in 2 minutes. Okay, thank you so much for watching.